So as we talk about how your plan benefits are determined, we're going to look at a couple of slides about how you've earned your credit. We'll look at a lot of slides about your pension calculations and about your payment options. This pension credit printout shows you all of your years of credit, how much credit you have earned in each individual calendar year, and it shows you your pension credit and vesting credit totals at the bottom. This credit summary is also available on the new participant portal. So you're attending today, but if you're not yet ready to retire, maybe 6 months from now or maybe next year, you want to check in on the new portal and see how much additional credit you've picked up. So you have earned your credit by working for an employer who has a collective bargaining agreement with either the construction pension plan or the Millman pension plan. Okay, this first slide is on the construction pension plan. Pension credit is earned based on the number of hours you've earned within any given calendar year, January 1st through December 31st. So if you earn less than 250 hours, you will not earn any pension credit. 250 hours gives you a quarter for that year, 500 gives you a half, 750 gives you 3/4, and 1,000 hours gives you a full year of pension credit. Starting in 1989 for the construction pension plan, it became possible to earn a year and a quarter or a year and a half of pension credit within a single calendar year. So working 1,500 hours in a calendar year gives you a year and a quarter of pension credit, and working 1,750 hours within a calendar year gives you a year and a half of credit within a calendar year. On the Millman Fund, the structure is the same, except under the Millman Fund, there is no year and a quarter or a year and a half. Under the Millman Fund, the most you can earn within a given calendar year is 1 year of pension credit. Now, over your working career, no contributions have been required from you over and above your salary. Your employer has paid into the pension fund on your behalf. Currently, the contribution rate for the construction pension fund, the total hourly contribution rate, is $37.88. Out of that $37.88, $15.76 is paid into the construction pension fund. On the Millman side, the total hourly contribution rate currently is $18.91. And out of that $18.91, $7.77 is paid into the Millman pension fund. Again, by your employer over and above the wage that you get on your paycheck. So let's talk about the difference between pension credit and vesting credit. Okay. Vesting credit, in order to be vested and entitled to a pension, and that's all vesting really means, is that you've earned enough credit in order to be entitled to a pension. So the current vesting credit requirement is 5 years of vesting service, and that began in 1999. Prior to that, there were greater requirements for vesting service. So between 1976 and 1998, you needed 10 years in order to be vested. And prior to 1976, you actually needed 15 years in order to be vested in the pension program. A maximum of 1 year of vesting credit can be counted per calendar year. So if someone initially became a carpenter in 1989 or later, the extra halves and quarters on the 1.25 or the 1.50, that additional 0.25 or 0.50 on the construction plan cannot be counted toward the toward the current 5-year vesting requirements. Okay. However, those extra halves and quarters are indeed included in the pension credit calculation to determine the amount of your monthly pension benefit. In addition to vesting credit being used to determine whether or not you're vested, It also helps us determine whether or not you're eligible for retiree health care benefits. And it's going to determine how much you pay for retiree health care benefits. We have a tiered premium structure that we will talk about when we get to the health benefits. Recently, that definition was updated to call it something like eligibility credit. But for most people, the eligibility credit you need for health benefits is the same as the vesting credit total that is indicated at the bottom of your personalized A printout that was sent out to you for today's webinar. For the examples today, we are going to use the construction pension plan rules. There were 147 people registered for today, and out of that 147 people, about 8 individuals registered either strictly have Millman credit or have some combination of construction and Millman credit together. So although the examples you will see on your screen show the construction pension plan accrual rates and the construction pension plan early reduction factors when we get there, the rules surrounding each of the payment options are the same for the Millman plan. Anything that is different, I will make a point of speaking to that during my presentation. Okay. The second sheet of paper is an estimate of monthly pension benefits. You have to be at least 55 to commence benefits in the construction plan, or at least 60 in the Millman plan to commence benefits. I also want to speak briefly about how we calculate age when we look at pension start dates. For purposes of your pension start date, what we call your pension effective date, we count your age as of the first of the month. So, for example, if you were born on April 23rd and you're going to be 60 years old on April 23rd, we would count you 60 years old as of April 1st. So you could start your pension on April 1st, being considered age 60, even though your birthday isn't until at some point later on during the month. And April's just my example here. Of course, that's true for any given month at all. So we're going to count your age as of the first of the month. So you don't have to pass your 60th birthday and wait until the month after your 60th birthday or 65th birthday for the Millman Fund in order to start a non-reduced pension. So our base monthly pension amount, and that is the A option about halfway down, about in the middle of the page on your personalized estimate. It's called a single life annuity with a 60 certain guarantee, okay? And we're going to look at the calculation of that base pension to start with. So your pension benefit is determined by your pension credits, and those pension credits are going to include those extra halves and quarters for the construction plan that became possible in 1989 and forward, okay? Also playing a role in your pension monthly benefit amount is the accrual rate in effect at the time your pension starts. So currently on the construction plan, the benefit accrual rate is $100. But I'm pretty sure all of you attending today have heard that as of July 1st, the accrual rate in the construction pension plan is increasing to $125 per year of pension credit. Okay. So that $125 is for the construction fund. For the Millman pension plan, the accrual rate is $66 per year of pension credit. Okay. Now that $125 for the construction and that $66 for the Millman plan are contingent upon you never having incurred what we call a 3-year break-in service. Okay. A 3-year calculation break-in service means that you have gone 3 consecutive calendar years without earning any pension credit. So if at any point in time during your career as a carpenter, you have gone 3 consecutive calendar years without earning any pension credit, then it is very possible that the $125 and the $66 accrual rates will not apply to you and your pension calculation. And we'll look at an example of a calculation for someone who has incurred a 3-year calculation break in service at some point in their career. Also impacting the calculation is the type of pension for which you are eligible when you retire. So the pension plans provide the following types of pensions. The requirements are slightly different for each. Okay. A regular pension is available in both the construction and the Millman plan. A regular pension is available if you're vested and at least 65. If you are vested and in the construction plan, you are at least 60, but not yet 65, you could be eligible for something called an unreduced early pension. And what that means is that even though you are not 65 years old, you can begin your pension without incurring any type of a reduction for your age. Okay. On the Millman plan, there's no such thing as a non-reduced early pension. On a Millman plan, you either have an early pension or a regular pension. So for the early pension on the construction plan, you have to be at least 55 but younger than 60. On the Millman plan, you have to be at least 60 but younger than 65. If you are not yet 60 in the construction plan or 65 in the Millman plan, there is what's called an early reduction applied for your age. You will incur an early reduction factor on the construction plan of 5% for each year that you are younger than 60. So for example, if you begin your pension when you are 59 years old on the construction plan, you will incur a 5% reduction. You are 1 year younger than 60 if you start at 59. If you start your pension at 55, you are 5 years younger than 60. So it's 5 years times a 5% reduction. You will incur a 25% reduction if you start your pension early on the construction pension side. On the Millman plan, you incur a 6.6 reduction for each year that you are younger than 65, all the way down to age 60. Now, those reductions are actually prorated by month. Okay, so if you start your pension on the construction side at age 59 and 11 months, you're only 1 month younger than 60, you're not going to incur a 5% reduction. You're going to incur a reduction of 1/12 of 5%. Okay, so that 5% or the 6.6% for the mill, those are divided by 12 to figure out your monthly reduction. And we do have a calculation example in the slides of what a pension looks like calculated with an early reduction factor applied. Okay. If you're interested in a disability pension, we will be talking about a disability pension later in the webinar. Partial and limited pensions are special circumstances. A partial pension could be available to someone who has a little bit of credit here in the Mid-America Carpenters Pension Fund, but doesn't have enough years here to be vested, maybe only 2 years here in the Mid-America Fund, but maybe worked 5 or 6 years out in California or Arizona or New York or something. A partial pension is a way we can coordinate benefits with other carpenter pension plans across the country. A limited pension is for individuals who have credit with both our construction plan and with our Millman plan. So a limited pension is a way that we coordinate benefits together between the two pension funds